So I was suggesting this is the agenda that I would like to propose today. Welcome you. We're going to have a few discussions because we also want to learn from you, not just you learn from us in terms of what zone learning is at TMU. Then hopefully we'll get a bit of a debrief in regards to these discussions. Then I'll introduce you to zone learning, that is the course, the zones, and how do these fit overall within zone learning. And then hopefully we'll have a Q&A and a close of the session. So thank you so much to the AIDS School and to the Creative School for this invitation. And thank you all of you for taking this next hour out of your busy schedules to be involved in this session. I hope that this is, of course, something that is valuable to you, that we're going to be sharing some resources and that are going to be meaningful and purposeful to you, and as well that we can learn from each other and be able to, over the course of the next year, to leverage these insights to either, get you to go through a number of experiences and resources that will be of value to you, as well as for us to be able to tap into those insights to be able to create additional complementary experiences for you. Um, also, this is an opportunity for us to sort of take pause and reflect on what you want to take away from the experience of being graduate students. And so sometimes, the semesters, the programs go very quickly, and we don't really have time to do so. So hopefully, during the next hour, we'll be able to do a little bit of this. And so essentially to get your expectations, to set your expectations, we're going to have a bit of an interactive session with discussions. Since we are about uh, 15 of us, 14 of us, maybe we'll split into two breakout groups. We'll go through a couple of questions through Mentimeter, and then the debrief is going to be about what did the two breakout groups discuss and how does that sort of frame what zone learning is, what zone learning can help you with, and also potentially some ideas, some suggestions about what can zone learning do in the immediate future to make your time at TMU and at the Creative School more valuable and more meaningful. So in terms of the discussions, I would ask you to join Mentimeter. So there's a QR code there, as well as the code that you can add on mentimeter.com. And then I will take you through those questions. And you can, of course, write up your own answers to those questions, and potentially as well, Daniel, Mohammed, and Elaine will be able to add a few additional reflections that might not have been captured by your individual submissions. So please grab the QR code or the code so that you can get into Mentimeter. Daniel, Elaine, Mohammed, would you suggest, I think two breakout groups would work out, right? Can you activate the
Yeah.
breakout groups? Brilliant. So welcome back. Thank you so much for going through this exercise and sharing your reflections, your thoughts, your interests, your aspirations. What are you expecting from your experience at TMU as a graduate student? So all of these insights are gonna help us going forward a lot. Just, because we don't have too much time here today, what we're gonna do is use AI to sort of group some of your answers together. But we'll have all the detail, and we'll definitely look into them to rescope, adjust, create new experiences for you. I think from the question one, which was, I'll remind you, the first question was, you've just completed your graduate program. When you re-enter the job market or launch your career, what do you hope will naturally set you apart from your peers or graduates from similar programs elsewhere? So about eight answers were about research experience, Many of you want more research experience. The second was career opportunities. You're looking for this to your experience at TMU to better prepare for you to leverage, approach career opportunities once you graduate. Two responses were on skill development, and one was about within skill development about creative thinking. I don't know, Daniel, Mohammed, and Lane, if you want to add any thoughts to this question, something that you sort of granularly got from the discussions or from people's answers.
I would just add one quickly one, I think, and someone mentioned about brand and personality. So in your work, developing the ability to showcase it in a particular way, and so building your own brand as an artist, as a professional, which is a little bit within, I guess, the skill development area, but you know, kind of opens up into all those categories as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Question two was, you're starting this graduate program with knowledge, experiences, skills, and aspirations. What are you already bringing that will help you naturally stand out? So we'll do the same. We'll get AI to help us group your answers into a couple of categories. So quite a few of you already have professional experience. So you're looking to leverage that into the future in combination with your new graduate credential. Some of you said that you already have strong creative skills. Some of you said strong communication skills, and someone talked about determination being one of the traits that you believe will set you apart. Um, Again, Daniel, Mohammed, Elaine, I don't know if you want to add anything here.
Okay, a quick one. I think once we discussed the intersection between art and creativity and moving into problem solving and actually applying some of that creativity and creating something out of it, as well as involving the whole thing with empathy, initiatives like sustainability, things like that.
Great. And so now going to the last question, as you look at the time between now and graduation, what do you feel you still need to build, develop, or experience to truly differentiate yourself? And again, here less questions, less answers. Maybe we can read them out loud. One person said, I bring an established creative practice, international exhibition record, and over a decade of experience leading design education. So I guess this person feels that they already are in a good place. Someone else said to read more and deep into readings and about critical thinking, to experience more worlds in my art practice and creation process, to write more. Someone else wrote, I think I need to truly learn and master the fundamentals of the industry so I can build on them and let my personality come out in the workforce. And lastly, someone wrote, between now and graduation, I hope to develop a strong network, hands-on experience, and strong strategizing and theoretical knowledge. Anything else that you'd like to add, Daniel,
Yeah.
Mohammed?
On that one, I think the discussions on, I think it's a big thing about community and community in
Mhm.
different ways, community with your colleagues, with your other students among different programs, but also community with faculty members, which then they can share their experiences so you can learn from them and develop your own sort of skills. And then also we had a little bit about updating specific skills like, software, more things like that.
Great. Wonderful. So I'll stop sharing Mentimeter and jump back into the presentation. So we went through all of these, and so it was quite clear from some of the discussions, as well as from what you said, in terms of what you're looking forward to developing, that some of this can be supported by Zone Learning, and specifically by an open elective course that we offer every semester called DG 8116. So some of you talked about wanting to be part of a community of like-minded individuals. Some of you talked about further developing your skill sets. Some of it, of course, technical, but some of it I would read between the lines that we are talking about some transferable, transversal skills. and some of it will also want to apply some of the theoretical and technical knowledge that you have to something concrete, whether that's a research project or real world project. And so what we offer, as I was mentioning, every semester is this open elective called DG 116. The DG 116, it's a course that you can take credit for. Uh, it's um, it's a cross-disciplinary course, meaning that we are not favoring any particular discipline or or students from any particular program. Um, the course is very much self-directed. Of course, there's an instructor. Of course, the instructor will guide you through the journey of launching or growing an existing real-world project. But for the large part, the instructor is going to be a guide by the side. You can start work on a new project or an existing project. As I mentioned to you, it can be research related or can be independent. When I mentioned research related, is quite a few participants in the past have worked on projects where the insights were being collected through research, but the project itself is not a research project. It needs to be a project that is, as we call it, real world, where you are activating the knowledge that you are collecting through research, but you're activating towards putting it out in the world and engaging with particular situations or particular challenges or particular opportunities. The course is also process driven, not results locked, in the sense that we are not really asking you to accomplish any particular results. We are just encouraging you to start somewhere, to apply a number of methods and a number of principles and a number of theories and insights, and to see where that leads you. And essentially, what we focus this course on as well is on these transversal skills that we were talking about, the transferable skills. So helping you understand and deal with uncertainty and do a lot more experimentation and testing. So hopefully through the journey and this course, you get to a point at the end of the semester that not only you can use the project and your journey as a way to boost your portfolio, to expand your professional network, um, to um, to connect with a community of peers, to essentially have been through an environment that was safe and promoted a lot of vulnerability and a lot of conversations about that, where you were able to bridge theory and practice, where you were able to grow your responsibility and accountability, your independence and your autonomy, expand again your transversal skill set, etc. So as you already understood on the left, we're basically talking about the characteristics of this course. And on the right, we're talking a little bit about what you can take away from this course. So I believe that this course is very much addresses a fair bit of what you shared with us today. It's of course not a course steeped in a particular discipline. For that, you already have the courses that you are taking through your program. So what I want you to leave this session with is that this course is complementary to what you're already getting through your graduate program. It fits within your graduate program. You can get credit for it, but essentially helps you tap into different experiences that can hopefully be valuable to you. And so I wanted to share some testimonials with you. I had prepared a video from a past participant, but we also have in this session David. And David is currently coming towards the end of the semester through DG 8116. So I'd like to invite David to join us. David, unmute yourself, please.
Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. JP, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Wonderful that you could join us, David. David is currently not in Canada, so he's joining remotely. So thank you so much for doing that and for taking a bit of time out of your busy schedule to be with us here. I'm just wondering if you could sort of to provide a little bit more context to about this course, you could talk a little bit about your journey in the course. What did you get out of the course this semester?
Yeah, absolutely. I was assigned with Negin, which is one of the TAs, and as JP mentioned before, is sort of instructor by your side type of class. Negin was in every class attentive of our progress, what we learned in the last week, what we did, what we probably missed, or just like plan to do for next week. Um, I think the biggest piece of learning that I got out of this course is being able to do something that I wanted in terms of assignments, boost also my professional career, and having the possibility to meet like-minded people, other entrepreneurs, and other people that wanted to start their own business. Yeah, from personal experience, I think it was really valuable for me because I really want to start my own design studio. So it was also a method for me to get to know peers and also offer my services to them. And my project, or what I wanted to achieve at the end of this class, at the end of the semester for this class, was to refine my portfolio and hopefully get one or two clients.
I was going to ask you a question. I don't know if you heard the question.
No, go ahead. Please repeat it for me.
No, the
Sorry, JP.
question was that what we got from some of the attendees in this session today was that they're looking for an opportunity or opportunities that can help them bridge theory into practice, that can help them connect with a community of like-minded peers, and also to help them expand their skill sets, not just technical skills, but also transversal skills. Do you think this course is an opportunity to do some of those?
Yeah, I think this course is an opportunity for you to set yourself a goal and also uh, build healthy habits around it. Because we often have like, overcommitment or other issues that we deal with. And I think this class is really helpful not only on working your technical skills, but mainly working your networking skills, seeing how other people deal with issues that you might have. Or, yeah, so that's why I think it's a great class to also meet other peers and see how they deal with issues. Hopefully, helps you out too.
Great. So David hopefully is going to stay with us until the end of the call, and we'll have a Q&A session or a little bit of time for Q&A at the end. And hopefully you'll be able to ask him some questions about the course at the end. The video there, we won't have time to play the video, but you can find the video on the course webpage online. If you Google DG8116, at the bottom of the page that you'll find, there's going to be a video testimonials. And this is one of those video testimonials. This was someone that did the Masters in Professional Communication a few years ago and went through this course as well and worked on setting up a non-profit. And so the video testimonials talks a little bit of that journey and what they got out of this course. So moving forward, I want to now introduce you to another resource, another experience that Zone Learning can provide you with. So the first one is called the DG116. It's a course, it's for credit. The other resource, the other experience that we have to offer you is one that is not for credit. It's called the Zones. And so zones at TMU are venture incubators. So for those of you that want to start a business or already have a business and you want to get access to additional resources and additional services, this is an opportunity for you. There's 10 zones on campus, 10 venture incubators on campus. They focus on different industries. And we can, of course, you can set up a time with me to go through some of those and these 10 and talk about which one could be a fit for you. As I mentioned to you, this is non-credit, so it's extracurricular. You'll have to find time within your schedule to be able to engage with the zones because they will not come to your program or they will not be sort of included in your schedule, in your curricular efforts. But at the same time, zones are free of charge. They are constantly admitting new members, so there's rolling admission. They are open to students, alumni, as well as community members. So if you decide that potentially this might not really fit within your schedule this semester, maybe next semester, if not, maybe even once you graduate, as I mentioned here, zones are completely open and free of charge to alumni as well. They focus on different development stages. So some of them are more directly focused on the very start of a venture. Some of them are more fitting towards the middle journey when you already have a venture but are trying to figure out how to make it grow. And we also have venture incubator that's really about scaling that venture. Um, Although they are free of charge and they open to students and they have rolling admission, they have limited spots. So make sure that you think about that because it's a competitive process. Unfortunately, the zones don't have the bandwidth to support everyone that asks to be supported. I also want to mention that over the last 15 years or so that the zones have been available at TMU, more than 7,000 students have been through the zones and more than 5,000 startups have been created. So this also has led to a thriving network community to be created that you can, of course, connect with as a member of these zones. And lastly, just to give you some sense of the efforts that this network has been into, more than $2.5 billion have been raised in funds to support these ventures. In terms of what you can expect in terms of the benefits of the zones, one is programming. So some of you might be a little bit unsure in terms of what you need to know in order to start your venture or to grow your venture. So the zones typically have programming towards that. They also have dedicated physical space that you can use towards organizing meetings or meeting with your collaborators. They also have, some of them also have access to labs, fabrication labs, wet labs, etc. They also have access to professional grade equipment. For instance, if you are in the media space, the transmedia zone has access to some equipment, the fashion zone as well, etc. You can also tap into talent. Most of the zones can connect you with interns. Um, Through internships, internship programs at TMU or even co-op program at TMU. They also can connect you with experts and mentors. They can connect you with potential grants and subsidies. They frequently organize industry networking events that you can attend and connect with people that can be of help and benefit you and your venture. And lastly, it's a vetted startup ecosystem. As I mentioned to you, it's been around for 15 years or so, and there's some prestige and brand association by being a member of these zones. Um, so as I mentioned to you, there's 10 zones on campus. They all focus on different industries and different sectors. So I would encourage you to look into the information online. So Google TMU zones, and you'll get to the page where you see all this information. And hopefully through reading through, you'll get some insights in terms of what is the zone that best fits you. If not, you can always book a time to meet with me. And I will share those contact details at the very end, my email address that you can use towards reaching out to me with questions about the zones or questions about the courses or anything else that fits within this and the overarching context of zone learning. So to answer the question that we got started at the very beginning, what is zone learning and how can you benefit from zone learning? So we'd like to say that zone learning is where your ideas become reality. It's really about connecting your knowledge, your skills, your practice with the world. The course does that through credit, through reinforcing your accountability or responsibility, as well as connecting you with a community of like-minded peers from different graduate programs. The zones do that outside the curriculum, so non-credit, but at the same time, they provide you access to very specific programming about starting ventures, starting businesses, mentors, as well as resources that oftentimes you don't necessarily have access to. And essentially, both of them really are to support you in turning your ideas into reality. And again, it's up to you to choose what is the path that best serves you, whether it's through the course or whether it's through the zones. They are complementary. Of course, you can do both, but sometimes just life gets in the way and it's really hard to find time to be a member of a zone, or sometimes it's really hard to fit what one wants to accomplish within the context of a course. So I'll leave you to choose to decide how you want to take advantage of zone learning, but these are typically the two main resources that we have to offer you this semester. Hopefully in the future, in the coming months, we'll have chance to provide you with additional resources, but for now, this is what we had to offer you. As we close, two QR codes. On the left, it takes you to a page about the course. On the right, it takes you to a page about the zones. This is my email address so that you can reach out to me. And with that, I'd like to open the floor for us to have a little bit of a Q&A because we still have some minutes left in the call. And hopefully David is still with us.
Yep, I'm here.
So feel free to unmute yourselves and ask your questions or your comments or your suggestions or your advice. Hopefully, you understand the connection between the questions that we asked you at the very beginning and what we have to offer. What we're trying to do within TMU is really to help the university bridge knowledge with practice as much as possible. So, of course, you'll do a lot of that through your own programs. This is a complementary resource that you can do so, and it's largely self-directed. So hopefully that will have some value because sometimes we also want to explore things our own way, and this gives you an opportunity to do that. I'll stop talking because I don't want to be the one doing all the talking. Questions, comments? Feel free to unmute yourselves, please.
I have a question. As far as projects or startups that have come through the incubator system, I know you had said on the DG 8116 page, there'll be a video about one example, but are you able to tell us about any other examples of startups that have come through there?
So the course is not so much about startups, it's more about projects. So it's more project based. And so every semester we have about 4 to 10 participants in the course and working on projects. And these tend to always be very practice based. And so essentially, like David, it's about starting professional practice, an agency, if you will, connected with one's own interests and one's program. And so I would say that that's really been the biggest sort of situation that we've seen over the years. Participants starting an agency or practice around furniture making or interior design or graphic design or media production or virtual media production or a fashion brand or a journalism brand, essentially a publication online or a magazine. And so those have been typically the examples that we've seen. Someone that came into the course this semester that had a book and wanted to see if they could potentially create an agency around that to support other authors, potentially also create merchandising, etc., for themselves. So we've not really seen, I don't know if that was the aim of your question. It's not really necessarily about financial success, but it's really about sort of providing an opportunity for people to start working on something that is potentially going to be financially successful in the future. So although we've been offering the course for 3 years, it's not really been enough time to see significant financial success out of that, but that doesn't mean that these opportunities have not really been meaningful and purposeful. But I'll be happy to provide you with more details about this if you want to understand a little bit more how people have been taking advantage of this opportunity.
Absolutely. I'll email you. I wrote down the email.
Please, yes. And in terms of the zones, there's been a fair few graduates from the creative school that have been involved in the zones. I would say primarily it's been in fashion, but also in fabrication. I think there's been quite a number of interior design students from the master's program going into furniture, and also from the media production masters, and as well from journalism within the transmedia zone, and essentially setting up podcast companies and media production companies. And so those are kind of the examples that I would that come out of top of my head.
Okay, sounds great.
More questions? Feel free to ask questions to David if David is still around, please.
Yes, absolutely. I'm still around. Feel free to ask any questions, guys. I also drop my email there on the chat. If you prefer to send my question via email, feel free to do so.
I should say that if you take the DG 116 course, you will also be able to network with graduate students from other faculties at TMU. So there's a significant cohort of graduate students from oftentimes from engineering, from business. And so it's, as I mentioned to you, it's very cross-disciplinary. So that will give you an opportunity to connect with like-minded peers, not just from your own faculty and sort of the creative realm, but also from other contexts. So hopefully that's also going to be of value to you. I think there's a question on the chat. So I'll read the question out. Do participants ever collaborate on the same project, like the same company or research objective? Question. And a follow-up, and another question was, what does collaboration look like between different disciplines towards your own or their goals? So typically in this course, we don't pair anyone with anyone. If you want to work in a group project or team-based project, you can do so. But then it would be entirely up to you to decide who you want to work with. We do often see as the course, as the semester starts, and as everyone gets started with their project or continues to work on their project or their venture, to start seeing collaboration. Because again, with having so many participants in a course coming from so many different disciplines, there's always something that the other one has, either knowledge or skills or resources or networks, etc., that can be of value that you can tap into. So we very clearly see those collaborations happen, but we don't necessarily connect with anyone to work together on the same project or the same business or the same venture or the same practice. That's entirely a decision of your own. But for instance, we always see someone sort of tapping on someone else's shoulder to help with social media marketing, or to help with photography, or to help with videography, or to help with branding, or to help with coding, or to help with website design. So there's always quite a lot of exchange of knowledge, quite a lot of exchange of experiences, introducing others within their network, connecting others with resources outside university, etc. So a lot of that goes on typically throughout the semester.
So my question was if there is, uh, if I want to explore the opportunity to organize an exhibition connected to the research or to the project I'm working on in the course, is it something possible? Is the program has supported something like this, facilitated before?
Absolutely. We've had so many different participants in this course working on exhibition proposals or even putting together exhibitions. Sometimes the timings don't align, so it's just too short of a time to go from putting together a proposal to actually organizing the exhibition. But you can definitely take the course and use the semester either to work on putting together a proposal or working on putting together an exhibition itself. We've had lots of participants in the past working on mixed media exhibitions, working on furniture exhibitions, working on photography exhibitions, working on moving image exhibitions. And so I would strongly encourage you, if this becomes an opportunity for you to do so, to take advantage of this course and work towards that in this course.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question? Wonderful.
Yes, thanks.
All right, Daniel, I think we've come to the end. Well, it was really great to have an opportunity to spend this hour with you. I will definitely go in through a lot of detail through the insights that you shared with us over the Mentimeter. You have my contact details, so feel free to reach out to me at any point in your journey at TMU, whether that's to take advantage of the course. Again, remember that's fall and winter. The zones, it's a rolling basis. If you are a little bit unsure how you can take advantage of the zones, feel free to reach out to me. In anything else, if you feel there's any value in reaching out to me, please do so. Daniel, myself, Elaine, and Mohammed are here to support your journey at TMU, so feel free to use us towards your studies, towards your professional development, etc. All right? Wonderful. Thanks so much, David, for joining. Take care. And goodbye, everyone. Have a good rest of the day, please.
Thank you for the opportunity. Have a good one, guys.